after, again, the performance, the experiences, you, you know, grew academically, and then now to someone who don't just perform, but who produce this time around students, who do the role. Do you think the personal experience, the stage experience, the experience garnered over the years,
Mhm.
help you as a teacher? I was kind of wondering how, did it lead to distractions, or, you know,
Everything worked together.
together?
Even before I had the opportunity of a university first degree,
Yeah.
the way Rotimi trained us, the way Shoyinka trained us, and the officer and the rest of them, eh, eh, what I went to do in class in the university
Huh.
was to know the reason why I was doing what
Oh.
I have been doing.
Hmm.
Not that I was taught what to do, but that I will be able to defend what I have been doing and uh, place my action under a particular theory, under a particular theoretical framework.
Hmm.
That is what the university degree taught me.
Hmm.
When the opportunity came, I entered the university at 200 level with my certificate in Yoruba oral literature
Sure.
and certificate in dramatic art. I entered at on 200 level. I met my son, Ademi, who had entered at 100 level.
Level.
So we met and we graduated together.
Huh.
Those 3 years was like fun. We made a lot of fun in
Hmm.
class. Some of our classmates would like to mock us. Then if if they overdo it, our lecturers will call them to
Yeah,
order.
order.
There was I was in a literature class. When you are doing dramatic art,
Yeah.
you have to
Take courses in
borrow
literature,
courses in English and in
English
literature.
literature.
And SF, FF was teaching us. Uh, and Yemi and I were in class, and somebody just said, like father, like son.
Hmm.
FF asked him, asked him to come to the front and give him a dressing down
Down.
and asked him to leave his class
Hmm.
and never to come for his lecture any longer. We started begging him that it was a joke.
Sure.
We said he was only joking with us. He said, this man is doing what your father did not do. Did your father attend a university? Yeah. Who is your father? So FF was so angry
Angry. Yeah.
with the boy. So within those 3 years, there were jokes, there were hard ones that
Hmm.
would not, and even Yemi and I would create some fun in class. Uh, Yemi will not ask me for food allowance at home when we are in class before the arrival of the lecturer. Bàbá ẹ̀ tí fún wa lówó oúnjẹ lọ́sẹ̀ yìí o. The rest of the class will be laughing, and if the lecturer comes, everybody will keep
Keep
quiet.
quiet.
There was a particular semester. I told Yemi to go and copy the timetable
Timetable.
from the notice board. He copied the wrong thing.
Timetable.
So Dr. Uji's class was to start at 9.
Hmm.
Yemi wrote 10.
10.
So at 10 minutes to 10, we were strolling into the class. I was surprised that, why? 10 minutes to the time and everybody is in class.
Quiet.
Ah,
Attentive.
by that time, I have not seen the teacher in their front. I entered. Dr. Uche just said, where are you coming? Are you coming from a family meeting? Father and son, look at your time. We begged him that it was Yemi who copied the wrong thing. Since that time, I will go and write it myself. I will go to the notice board and write uh,
At
the
least to be double sure.
uh, the like play. 3 years
3 years
passed, and we
was
had our first degree.
hmm,
Then I had to go to Ibadan for my
for the
masters
masters.
and uh, PhD,
Hmm.
and I came back.
So, what was teaching again? The student, what was your experience like with your students while you were teaching?
Mm.
Yeah,
Well, I combined my experience from the popular Yoruba traveling theater, the Oriolokun theater, with the academics, and I found it very easy to teach. I found it very easy to teach. Mm, I know I will just ask them, go and read this play, go and read this textbook and the rest of it, and then I will form my own notes and come to class to give them notes.
hmm. Now, theory, practice. Most of the, again, I finished from Effect too, and then I know that most of the textbooks we studied in those days used the Greeks as example in our days, but I don't know. I mean, as a professor who taught, at least who taught recently, I mean, have there been changes in textbooks, or do
Well,
you still use the
uh,
old ones?
we still read Aristotle. We
Aristotle,
read
yes,
Aristotle,
yeah,
Bertolt Brecht,
Bertolt Brecht, yes,
Ibsen,
Ibsen, Chekhov,
Chekhov,
yeah,
and the rest of them.
yeah,
But we are lucky that we have some Nigerian authors whose plays and textbook we combine.
combined
Uh, we cannot rely solely on the aged textbooks.
textbooks. Yeah.
So we have to, so that the people we are teaching
Mm,
will know that those of us teaching them, that we know what we are saying.
mm,
So you will come to class and you will brag with I will come to class and brag with a particular lines from any of the plays that I have performed,
mm.
and they will Uncle
Okay.
K. So and they gained a lot from me being a professional actor
Yeah,
and then graduating into academics,
academics.
uh,
I
both
can
in
see.
Ife here, at the Redeemers University, at Ekiti State
Let's
University,
see.
and at the because after retiring at the Department of Dramatic
Take
Art
out
here,
if yes.
I went to work at the Redeemers University.
University.
I was
Yeah.
at the Redeemers University for about 5 years until
And
the Vice Chancellor of Ekiti State
let's
University
see.
saw me. Kola, what are you doing here? I said, I'm head of department, because I was head of department, acting head of department,
Environment.
because I was not a professor. I was an associate
Not professor.
professor. So I said, I'm head of department. The man said, we are going to start theater as
Theater.
department at Ado Ekiti. Come. I said, my people here. I said, leave them. Come and join us. So I resigned and went to become the pioneer as head of
Oh,
department
okay.
at Ekiti
Ekiti
State
State University.
University.
Hmm.
I was there. The first set of students that were admitted in my tenure graduated before I left
From
again for Elizade
Elizabeth
University
University.
at Ondo
Ondo
State,
State, yes.
Ilaramokin. That was when where I
Finally
dropped the
retired.
chalk. I said, it is time to go home to roost.
So, that's wonderful. So let's talk about the new Nollywood and the old Nollywood. I mean, there's this debate about,
Mm.
um, I want to know what you think about it, your opinion. Is it there's, well, I know there is a kind of continuity, but then there is this debate about, the new Nollywood, the no, the old Nollywood.
Well, it started with the celluloid
Yeah,
with Ogunde,
Ogunde, yeah,
Ade Love,
yeah,
Baba Salah,
yeah,
and the rest of them.
yeah,
But when the naira, the dollar
yeah.
was no longer touchable,
That's a good one.
eh, you know, during the Baba Ogunde era, if you shoot a film, you have to take it to either America or
Britain.
London or Britain to go and process.
Mm.
And in all, you will not spend more than $3,000. But when the naira fell,
Mm.
and it was so difficult to be able to get that kind of dollar to process your uh, uh, production, people started to maneuver.
Mm.
They changed to what do they call it? Um,
Video.
Before video, there was this. They will shoot it and take it to the television
Mm.
to go and process.
Process.
I've forgotten what they call it.
Okay. Pneumatic.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
So then later they adopted the video.
Mm.
I continue to say that this uh, man Alade did a lot for us in the industry.
Which of the other days?
Alade, Muhyiddin Alade
Okay.
Aromire,
Aromire.
he had
Mm.
the opportunity of going to Germany for a few months and learned the processing of making video to be able to be shown in the theater. When he came back, he
Mm.
combined, he collaborated with Baba Ogungbe
Mm.
to do a production. The whole thing, they didn't spend more than, was it how many thousand naira? And when he took it to the National Theatre for, uh, they said, no, you cannot show video here. We don't, you want to chip in now. So he showed it and people liked it.
Mm.
And within 2, 3 uh, uh, exhibition, they had their money back and was able to produce another one. So uh, Aromire became an hero. People started inviting him, come and do what you did with Ogungbe with me and so on.
Mm. So it was a
So
revolutionary kind of step.
he opened our eyes in the industry to how we can adapt to video.
Mm.
So uh, and that was how the industry started. Because we thought it was the end of it when naira, when dollar became
Mm.
untouchable.
Mm.
That what are we going to be doing? But it's only the Baba Ogunde
Yeah.
and some other people that were able to
Which.
produce uh, uh, films in those days. But later, after the Aromire experience, video came in and we started uh, enjoying again.
Okay.
Uh, there are some people in the industry
Mm.
who had formal training
Training.
as cinematographer, such
Mm.
as Tunde
Tunde
Kelani.
Kelani. Yeah.
Tunde Kelani had formal
Mark Twain.
training as a cinematographer, and that is why his productions are always different from the others. The productions I did with him were Koshegbe, uh, the one that I played,
Lakwite.
Lakpite,
Yeah.
and then Oleku.
Oleku.
I
Yeah.
took part in those three.
Oleku was
Oleku,
superb. Yeah.
Oleku, Saworo Ide.
Sauro
I did not take part in Agogo War because Lakpite had
had
died,
died. Yeah.
and it's a
So that's
continuation
all that.
of the same
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So, and there are so many other people who are very, very experienced in the industry. Something there was a downturn
Mm.
at a particular time, but now it is it is it is it has come in a bigger way. Look at what our boys are doing now, having what do they call it, film villages.
Villages. Yes.
I know
Kunle
about three of them.
Afolayan, Tokpe. I mean,
Uh-huh.
Femi
Femi
Adebayo.
Adebayo,
Yeah.
that Akpa boy, Chata.
Okay.
He has
Chata has his own
a
village.
film village now.
Oh, all
It
right.
was
I'd love
only
to
Baba
visit
Ogunde who had a film
Vim
village in
Village in
those
those
days.
days. Yes.
And when he died, there was nobody to keep it going.
Yeah.
And the thing collapsed. If you
Yeah.
get there now, you won't know that anybody has built anything there before.
Yeah.
But people are now making it big.
Yes.
They have film villages. They produce films that could be shown in the cinema houses and make millions.
Yeah.
So that is why I'm very happy that the industry is growing, because at a particular time we thought there was a decline, but
Mm.
now it's coming up very fine.
Yeah. That's again. I mean, I'm so happy um, that you brought up the film village because when we talk about the the old Nollywood and the new one,
Mm.
people don't really go to this area you went to, which I really appreciate because I believe yes, there's this continuity in a very big way. I mean, you know, Jagun Jagun,
Mm.
Anikulapo, and the
Anikulapo.
likes. I mean, these are one what one can say world standard.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then the subject matter, they're dealing with things that have to do with our culture in very, very positive ways. They're reviving a whole lot of things.
Yes.
And then, of course, the economic aspect of it
Yes.
really matters. There's a lot of, in terms of economics, the cast, look at the number of casts,
Mm.
look at the village. It
Mm-hmm.
takes a lot to build this place. And there's something that are
The
permanent.
acres of land that are acquired
Yeah.
to
To
build that
build this
those
village.
film villages,
Yeah.
you'll be surprised.
Yeah. So I think it's one of the very, very important things that is really, really happening.
Yes.
Now in these films, this is in most of the movies that come out of this, um, I'm particularly interested in women, in the
Mm.
role of women. They tend to be, the villain in a lot of them. I mean, Anikulapo, and of course we see Anikulapo, we see Zit Rolake, or the woman
Mm.
who um the wife of the king, who became a rebel of sort, but then again, they're always at the receiving end. So one of the things that I want to, the question I'm interested in your opinion is, I mean, so what do you think our movies are giving our women, are portraying them in a realistically positive light, or do you think they are not?
You know, at a particular time,
Yeah,
every Yoruba production that you see,
yeah,
you will see a lot of
yeah,
ajes, uh, the people, incantations,
yeah,
aje, and the rest of it.
yeah.
Then that one, that era seemed to pass, and then we had the near naked people.
People,
I mean our women.
women, yeah,
And when I asked, I said, why are you people producing this type of play that showing women's they are half naked and the rest of it? Somebody told me those that are buying the films, that's what they
the
want to
want.
see.
That's
That's what they
interesting.
want to see. Those of you that are saying we are performing, we are producing bad films, they are not uh, portraying the culture in a better way. How many of you are buying
Hmm.
films? How many of you are going to the theater to go and watch? So it is the things that people want to see that we are
Hmm.
showing to them.
Hmm.
But now uh, they have learned some lessons about that, and they are now trying to portray our women in uh, they are trying to portray our women in better pictures.
Hmm.
Uh, Look at Efun Shetan
And
Aniwura
we're,
by which Akinshola
you
wrote
wrote, yeah,
and Iso Pepe produced
produced,
and then reproduced later,
yeah,
and some other uh, productions about our women.
women.
It's not every production that portray them as ajes or as wicked people.
Hmm.
They are trying to bring some kind of heroism
Yeah.
from the women. Mm. Because we used to have women who led
Hmm.
wars
Was
in those
in
days
history, yes.
in the history
Hmm.
in history, and then they are trying to portray such women. I believe that it can still be improved.
Hmm.
It can still be improved upon.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So the idea of, because I agree, I mean, people, they make movie, they want to make money too.
Mm-hmm.
They spend so much money.
Yes,
If you invest, you need returns.
yes.
But then there's this theory again. You're a professor of of theater, and we we both studies these theories. That theater can actually set agenda for society by the kind of things we do. Art can set agenda for society. So do you think we're doing enough of that? I mean, in terms of, let me give an example. When Oleku, which you
Mm-hmm.
were part of, was produced,
Mm-hmm.
it led to a kind of a resurgence of the Oleku kind of wear.
Mm.
I mean, the influence was palpable. People started
That
doing that. Yeah.
type of
That of Hero.
hero
So, which,
and
yeah, so that was the
short
obvious
sleeve
influence. And Charles
buba
Lee Buba, that was a kind of
took its
immediate
name from
influence
that play,
from that play,
Oleku.
Oleku. So, this is what I'm saying. So, given that, I mean, that's a very, very visible, very practical example. So, do
Mm.
you think theater is, and the movie, as it were, do you think they can change society? Do you think they have the power to influence, either in a positive or negative way?
You see, theater always mirrors the
Society.
society. You want the society to see what they are
Mm,
so that they can either continue the same
yeah,
way or try
that's right.
to change.
Change.
You mirror the society. And then they will learn, the society will learn they will learn some lessons from the productions.
Yes.
whether it is good or some bad
Bad.
influence.
Yes.
A film can have bad influence
Influence. Yeah.
on people, especially the little
The
ones.
youths.
You know, uh, the little ones are always impressionable, always impressionable. But we cannot desist from performances that reflect the reality of our time,
Hmm.
the reality of
Of
our
our
time.
time.
And that is why you see a lot of movie, in a lot of movies you see people doing 419,
Hmm.
people doing 419, people doing armed robbery. It mirrors the society. So, and they always do it in a way that the end of such character would be bad,
Bad.
so as to teach the society
Necessary.
that this aspect of life should not be
Emulated.
emulated.
Economically, there's a lot of things going on in the industry now, and there's a lot of upcoming artists, and a lot of people. Again, whether you appear in current movie or not, they look up to the people like you, and I'm sure they'll be eager to know what you have, what kind of advice for those who want to, upcoming artists who want to, go into the industry, and life lessons, because again, you've come a long way. Um, so, what would you like to say to them
Uh,
as a way
uh,
of capping up this
the young
discussion?
ones
Yes.
nowadays are very lucky because they have the opportunity of university training, which is very essential.
Hmm.
In theater, you may have the inborn talent,
Hmm.
but you need to develop that talent.
Hmm.
You need to add uh, knowledge
Hmm.
to talent to be
Hmm.
able to function very well. And the youth of nowadays have that opportunity. There
Hmm.
are so many universities in Nigeria now where there are departments of theater.
Hmm.
So they have the opportunity, and some other individuals too are creating theater drama schools.
Hmm.
In the past, there was nothing like that. It was only the late Baba Ogumola who had the opportunity of university training. He had the
Hmm.
1 year uh, artist in residence training at the UI.
Hmm.
They used his troupe to test drive the Department
Of
of Theater
theater.
Arts.
Okay. Hmm.
And if you see, before he died, there was no actor like him.
I've heard a lot about
Ah,
his prowess, that he was really
because
good.
he had that opportunity of staying in a university environment for 1 whole year as a resident
Hmm.
company.
Hmm.
And he had the opportunity of the Rockefeller Foundation,
Foundation.
who
Hmm.
purchased all the costume, all the technical equipment for his production, the Power Drinkard.
Hmm.
It was only Ogumola who had that opportunity.
Hmm. And he used it very
He
well.
used it very well.
Hmm.
His production was no other theater company at that time matched his standard.
Hmm.
It was with Ogumola that I first saw uh, Dima,
Hmm.
Dima set,
Said. Hmm. Wow.
because the Rockefeller Foundation purchased every
Everything.
theater equipment complete for him with a lorry and uh, uh, generator,
Wow.
a generator planted in the lorry
Wow.
so that when they get to a village, they will light the whole
Oh,
place.
please.
Why would people not go and watch? Have they seen that type before?
Before? Hmm.
Big generator that can light a whole village was in that lorry.
Hmm.
So he had the opportunity and he made the very best use of it.
Hmm.
But death snatched him
Hmm.
away at a tender age of 50.
Hmm.
Mm. He died so soon. But we have his children. We have his children take up the profession.
Hmm. Hmm. So, thank you very much for your time, sir. I am really, really, really grateful for you giving us this time. Again, letting us to drink from your fountain of knowledge.
You're welcome.
Hopefully, um, in you will still have the opportunity. You still be gracious enough to still allow us to come. I'm sure a lot of the viewers will be very, very excited and grateful for this opportunity as well as I am. Again, Agba Sheda Funyu.
Amin.
Thank you very much, sir.
You are welcome.
My pleasure, sir.
Eshe.
Yes, sir.